One of the questions I get most often from my students is, how do I learn the names of the notes on the neck? Well, I'm going to show you how I did it. I used this website, musictheory.net. I used the desktop, web version, as well as the mobile version called Tenuto. And today, I'm just going to be focusing on the fretboard note identification exercise, but there are lots of other exercises that I've used specifically for ear training and just other stuff related to music theory that I think I'm going to do more videos like this for. So this is the homepage of musictheory.net. I highly recommend you check out their app Tenuto. I think it's like $5 or kind of in that ballpark, and is well worth the money that you pay. So if you're serious about learning music theory, definitely check out that app. But let's go ahead and go to the exercises here for all of us on our computers. So you can tell there are many, many exercises here. A lot of them are related to sight reading, reading music, understanding the staff, identifying notes on the staff, things like that. We have names of the notes on the keyboard, things like that, which is fantastic. We have ear training stuff, which I found absolutely, basically, I would say life-changing, considering that I'm a music teacher now, and I use my ear training in every single lesson. And then we have the guitar exercises, which are all related to the fretboard. So the biggest one here is obviously fretboard note identification. So let's take a look at this. So at the top of this, you'll see that I was already using this in a lesson. So my student got 51 out of 59, 86%, which is pretty solid. The way the exercise is normally set up is this red dot kind of just appears anywhere within this range. You can actually expand the range past the 12th fret as well, but we'll talk about that later. And you just guess what the note is that the red dot is on. So we've got 7th fret on the high E string. That's a B. You can tell it gives you a little bing sound, which is also training your ear to hear the note B, which I think is awesome. We've got 7th fret on the B string, which is F sharp. 8th fret on high E, which is C. You get the drift. I think I have this customized right now for a certain, yeah. Okay, so this is the next step of the exercise. So it's kind of set to where I had it in my last lesson, but I'll reset it here in a sec. So like I said, typically it's just gonna generate a dot anywhere within the 12th frets on any of the 6 strings. So a pretty huge field of possibilities. The first thing that we want to do with our exercises as we're learning the names of the notes is we want to shorten that range. Now, if you don't already know the names of the open strings, they're just listed right here. So I don't include the open strings as a possibility in the exercise because the names of them are listed right there. It's just kind of like cheating. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back to this, and you can tell it already automatically generates a new question. So 1st fret on the B string. This is actually kind of a tough one because it's just a half step between B and C. So you have to have the chromatic scale memorized to be able to guess that note. And in general, I think that this exercise is multifaceted in its benefits, right? So you're learning the notes on the fretboard, but you're also reinforcing the way the chromatic scale works, which, in case you don't know, it's A to G in terms of the natural notes, and then you have the sharps and flats in between. They're usually each natural note is a whole step apart, but the distance between B and C is a half step. The distance between E and F is a half step. So that kind of muddies things up. So this is a great opportunity to work on that. So in this case, if you don't know what note this is, you can go E, F, right? Because E and F are half step apart. And then the next note is F sharp. And you can just kind of gradually work on these questions. B, C, C sharp. And that's how I recommend doing it at first, is just starting with the open string and then basically just counting up the string to the note where the dot is. Eventually you won't need to do that, but it's a great place to start. Like I said, helps you memorize the scale. And from there, it's just up to you. So what I really recommend is doing these little 3-fret zones. And the reason for that is because you want to generate as many new questions as possible. And if you keep the field of possibilities really small, so instead of 12 whole frets, we just do 3, then a lot of the questions are going to repeat. And so you'll be able to memorize the locations of these notes a lot faster. So what I recommend is just starting with a little 3-fret zone. When you feel really comfortable with that, just move it to a different 3-fret zone. I'm just going to do 4 through 6. So we've got 6 on the B string, that's an F. 6 on high E, we go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp. You can count it like that, or you can just know it. Like I know that's E flat. And you just keep doing these little 3-fret zones. Now, as far as how this works into your practice routine, depending on where you're at in your skill level, I really recommend that you include music theory as a part of your practice routine, even if it doesn't necessarily mean that you're playing the guitar the whole time. So this would be part of your music theory portion of your practice. So obviously there's no guitar involved as far as, strumming the thing, but it's still helping your guitar knowledge quite a bit. So the way I started out with this was just 5 minutes a day, and I did it every single day. And honestly, I feel like within maybe a month, I had all the notes memorized on the neck, no problem. So 5 minutes a day for 30 days, and you will probably have them all memorized, believe it or not. As far as the pure quantity of questions, I feel like I could probably get about 100 in 5 minutes, but that might be because I know, I can guess them so quickly. So maybe try for at least 50 in 5 minutes. Or in that ballpark, 40, 50, whatever. But if you do that 5 minute a day commitment toward your practice routine, it'll help you immensely. You'll be able to communicate with musicians who don't play guitar. It's a really good introduction to possibly reading standard notation for guitar as well, which if you're going to college for music, that's critical. If you're playing in your jazz band, it'll really help your band director out quite a bit. Or if you're just curious, and obviously knowing the names of the notes helps with learning lots of other kind of music concepts. So I hope this has been a really helpful demo for you, and I hope that you use this website or download the app and just start doing 5 minutes a day and just get this done, get it out of the way, because once you have this memorized, a whole world kind of opens up and you're able to just access music in a different way than you did before. So I want that for you, and I hope you want that for yourself. And best of luck. I'm going to do more demos of different portions of this website in the future, so hopefully you'll tune in for those. But otherwise, enjoy your music process, and I will catch you in the next video.